With credex, you have the power to make your word stronger than money, free of dependence on the global financial system. Welcome to credex. This video is going to show you how to pay without money. This video is going to show you how to base your transactions on peer-to-peer trust instead of money. By doing this, we can sidestep inflation. We can build economic resilience for ourselves, for our communities. We can build wealth. And it's simple, it's fun, and it's deeply revolutionary. Because with credex, you have the power to make your word stronger than money. And with that power, you are able to become free of dependence on the global financial system. That might sound incredible. That might sound impossible. Money is complex, it's huge, it's powerful, it's been around for a very long time. But the truth is that it's not impossible, it's just unfamiliar. And it's not novel and strange, it's centuries-old principles applied in a new way. Now, the next question around this might be, well, is it legal? It is legal in every jurisdiction that I'm aware of, because it's just accounting. It's auditable. It's GAAP compliant. And lastly, why should I trust you? I need to see some credible proof that this works. And of course you do. And so this video is going to give you the simple concept. It's going to show you how to do it. And then the next step is you do it. You do some low-risk transactions and you see what happens and you build your own confidence and your own trust in the system. So we're going to start with the credex principle. And the first version of this is very simple. If I owe you and you owe me, then we're square. We could cancel those debts without money changing hands. And this is what it would look like in a network graph. If Alice owes Bob $3 and Bob owes Alice $3, we can cancel those debts without money changing hands. Now, just to add one more step to the credex principle, if I owe you and you owe them and they owe me, we could also clear those debts without money changing hands. Now here's what that looks like in a graph-based visualization. If Alice owes Bob $3 and Bob owes Charlie $3 and Charlie owes Alice $2, we could cancel those debts. We could take $2 from each of those debts without money changing hands. That completely clears the debt between Charlie and Alice, but leaves Alice owing Bob $1 and Bob owing Charlie $1. So now let's get to the practical application. When you first open your account, this is what your dashboard will look like, empty. This is my first payment by credex. I'm buying a walking stick from Bilbo Baggins. I owe Bilbo Baggins $79. There's a few things to notice about this. First is the promise phrase. Ryan Watson promises to provide Bilbo Baggins with 79 Canadian dollars worth of value. That's my promise. That's what Bilbo is accepting. That's what I'm being held to. This blue color indicates unredeemed promises. Promises made but not yet fulfilled. That large bar across the center is the transaction health. And this bar up here is my own personal account health that totals all my transactions. So you can see that $79 that I've promised but have not yet redeemed shows up on my health bar as promised but not yet redeemed in the teal color. Here's what it looks like on my ledger. Here's the transaction. And we can also see it reflected in the totals. That $79 is a payable. I owe Bilbo. Adding in another transaction, I've accepted a credex from Mary Poppins for umbrella repairs. When I accept that credex, my balances change. We add in this $25 receivable. And the net balance also changes. This is what that transaction looks like. And here's my ledger with 4 transactions. You can see that the totals are showing up. Credex is payable, credex is receivable, and then that net credex balance. So these are 2 payments that I've made and 2 payments that I've accepted. Each of these is currently outstanding promises. As we move forward through the system, more and more of these transactions are created, and as they do, the system starts to find the loops. If I owe Katniss, and Katniss owes Bilbo, and Bilbo owes Bob, and Bob owes Alice, and Alice owes me, the system will find that loop and start to redeem the credexes. And this is what it looks like. That gold color represents the redeemed credex. So $15 of these two transactions has been canceled against each other. They've both been redeemed. So if we look in at the transaction here, we can see this $15 that I have made good on showing up on the transaction health bar, as well as showing up on my overall credit score. We can also see the transaction that it's been cleared against. So $15 of this $79 that I owed Bilbo Baggins has been cleared by the value that I provided to Katniss Everdeen. And we can see that in this transaction from Katniss, and also noting $15 of that transaction has been cleared against my other debt. Now let's look closely at what happens when another loop closes. Take a look at what happens to the credexes payable, drops by $10. Credexes receivable, drops by $10. Net credex balance does not change, which is the idea. We balance a payable against a receivable, the net does not change. Here's what that credex looks like once it's been cleared. Katniss no longer owes me anything. There was a promise, it has been fully redeemed, indicated by the gold bar, indicated by the cleared. The big question is, how can I trust that loops will close? And there's two answers to that. The first is, you're not really trusting that loops will close. You're trusting a specific person to deliver on a specific promise. The credex ecosystem helps them do that and helps you do that at the same time. But the trust is between humans. The trust is between counterparties. And if the loops aren't closing, then that's the moment to connect counterparty to counterparty and say, how can we make this work? It's in no one's interest for this transaction to default, to demurrage. It's in everyone's interest for us to find a way to make good on this debt. So how do we do that? And the entire credex ecosystem is lined up behind you in the effort, because default is not good for you, it's not good for your counterparty, and it's not good for anyone else in the system. And then it's just keep transacting, because the more transactions are in the system, the more potential cred loops there are, the more places that the system will be able to find those loops and close them. More transactions, higher volume, higher network density, that's helpful for everyone. So keep transacting in and out, and the loops will close. So a quick review of the credex principle. If Alice owes Bob, and Bob owes Charlie, and Charlie owes Alice, the ecosystem will clear those debts against each other without money changing hands. And this principle is massively scalable. So how do we do it? What's the practical application? Well, click on over to the marketplace, list an item, buy an item, make an offer, make a payment, and make good on your promise. Start using credex to exchange real value, to get the things that you need and want. Start using credex to provide real value. And as we do that, we build our wealth, we build our resilience, we build our trust, we build our freedom. Let's get started.